Howdy, it's me, Bob Harris, with the Football Diehards Saturday injury update. A couple things off the top. Le'Veon Bell returns for the Steelers from his suspension this week. Expect him to get a full workload. Sammy Watkins placed on IR, out at least 8 weeks for the Bills. And Josh Gordon re-entered rehab this week, a week before he could come off suspension. He's not coming back anytime soon, people. So if you were been holding on to him, think again. So we'll start with the quarterbacks, where Russell Wilson, MCL, no big deal. He practiced all week. He's fine. He's magic, this Russell Wilson. Same with Andrew Luck with the shoulder. No issue there. No worries. The quarterbacks we're interested in, Jacoby Brissett and Jimmy Garoppolo, both questionable, right thumb, right shoulder, respectively. Sounds like Brissett's ready to go. They hope Garoppolo will be. Keep an eye on that one. If Garoppolo plays, maybe the receiving weapons are of a little more interest there. Jay Cutler listed as doubtful with his injury, his thumb injury. He won't play this week. Brian Hoyer starts again. Jamal Charles listed as questionable this week with the coming off the torn ACL. He's been working his way back into the mix. Expect him to play the change of pace role behind Spencer Ware, with Sharkhandrick West out with the ankle injury. Don't go overboard on Charles, but this is a good sign. It's progress. Rashad Jennings questionable with the same thumb injury that held him out last week. He's in Monday Night Football. Be careful. It's Monday night, right? Jeremy Langford and Kadeem Carey doubtful for the Bears, ankle and hamstring. Langford expected to miss an extended period. Jordan Howard gets to show his stuff in the meantime. Joique Bell there for depth. I mentioned West is out. Thomas Rawls out for Seattle. Christian Michael continues on. Doug Martin continues to miss time with his hamstring injury. That's Charles Sims getting the role there in Tampa Bay. Jonathan Grimes out for an extended period. Not a big factor in Houston. Jonathan Stewart, still no timetable for his return. Cameron Artis-Payne has been filling in. Fozzie Whitaker chipping in as a change of pace. At wide receiver, Marvin Jones turned up as questionable late this week. Sounds like he'll play, though. He worked fully Friday. It's a hamstring issue, though. That's always a little bit of a worry with speedy guys. Alshon Jeffrey has the sore knee. He's been playing through that. I would expect him to do the same, but he's questionable. You'll have to watch for that decision. Same with Willie Snead. Missed last week with the sore toe. He's questionable this week. Did work on a limited basis, so it sounds like he's close to coming back or will come back. But you'll need to watch it. Philip Dorsett turned up with the ankle injury late in the week. Remember, it's a London game, 9:30 a.m. kickoff. So that's like about an 8 a.m. Eastern time inactive announcement. So watch for that. I think he'll play. Tavon Austin and Kenny Britt, shoulder and thigh issues respectively. Sounds like both of them will play. Tyler Lockett for Seattle, still dealing with the knee. He's listed as questionable. Expect him to play, but the workload hasn't been great, right? So watch that. Maybe he needs a little time to work his way back. Des Bryant made the trip to San Francisco. Has a hairline fracture near his knee. He's not ruled out. He's listed as questionable. I don't expect him to play. I'd be worried playing him if he does play. Eric Decker out for an extended. He's week to week. Out this week, considered week to week. Partially torn rotator cuff. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. That could be tricky. Greg Solis joins Sammy Watkins on the sidelines this week. He's got a groin injury. Josh Doxson, the Achilles, not ready to come back yet after he missed last week as well. Eli Rogers out for the Steelers. Maybe Bell picks up some of that slot work, right? In addition, Dante Moncrief still out, Corey Coleman still out. Both those guys out an extended period. At tight end, Rob Gronkowski still, listed as questionable with the hamstring. I'm a little worried. He didn't sound very optimistic this week. Maybe as much work or maybe slightly more work than he got last week, which isn't hard. It wasn't much, right? He ran like 2 routes. Eric Ebron listed as questionable with the ankle. He practiced fully Friday. Sounds like he will play. Julius Thomas, another early morning game time decision. He's got an elbow issue that has him questionable. Again, it's that 8 a.m. Eastern inactive announcement. Delaney Walker worked some on Friday with the hamstring, missed last week. Hopes he can come back this week. You'll need to watch that. Jimmy Graham turned up with a back issue to go with his knee. The knee's not really an issue anymore. The back is this week. You'll need to watch that. He's coming on a little bit. Player of interest to me. Charles Clay for the Bills. He's still having issues with the knee that date back to Miami. He'll be on the field, but hasn't had much impact. Garrett Selleck and Vance McDonald, back and hip issues respectively. They're 50-50 propositions. It seems like both listed as questionable. Shouldn't be eager to play either of them. Antonio Gates, doubtful again this week. Looks like another Hunter Henry week. Henry was on the field every snap last week. Look for that to happen again this week in a favorable matchup against the Saints. And that's it for this week's injury update. Remember, I'll have everything covered through all the kickoffs tomorrow, so check back with the site to make sure your guys are active or not. Good luck this week.